Hey guys, Brian Hilliard here, author of the best-selling book Networking Like a Pro and creator of the popular program How to Build an Audience and Grow Your Following. And I gotta tell you, I am fired up here today because as you can see, I am clad in my Celtics green because the NBA professional basketball season here in the United States is in full swing and we are gonna cheer on these Celtics, baby, to another playoff run as they go through the league. And if that wasn't good enough, I'm fired up because today we're going to talk about building an audience and what I like to call the easy button. That's right. Remember that commercial, the easy button? That's kind of what I call this when it comes to building an audience because I got to tell you, I remember when I was getting started and even certainly as I was going out there and kind of trying to build an audience and grow a following, I would go out and I would be networking, right? And that was good. And I would go out and I would do some speaking. And that was good too. But the problem with those things was that I wasn't getting beyond my local market, right? I was going out and I was networking and I was speaking at all these events and I had spoke pretty much at just about every place I could go. I had networked at just about every place I could go. I had met people, you kind of seen the same people over and over and over again. And I realized that if I wanted to get higher paying coaching clients, I needed to be able to go out and I needed to build an audience and grow a following so that people would actually come and want to work with me, which is why I work with coaches, consultants, and service professionals to help them do just that. Build an audience and grow their following. Because what I ran into was the fact that people were really good at what they were good at. They had a world-class training and they had a really strong commitment. But what they lacked was the proper tools and systems for being able to consistently generate content and publish that content online. And so what I do is I create a step-by-step game plan that helps individuals build an audience and grow a following without being pushy, salesy, or otherwise over the top. And I gotta tell you, like I said, I'm fired up because we're gonna talk about that easy button. Now, specifically, we're gonna talk about it in the context of creating high quality and good content. Because for a lot of people, that's where they fall down. They've got good stuff in their head and they want to get out some good ideas, but they fall down in terms of how can I consistently get it out there? Or maybe you've tried it a few weeks and it's worked for a few times, or maybe even a month, and then it's just like, oh no, and it falls down and it seems really hard. Well, I've got 3 things that can help you that I personally do when it comes to what I call the easy button in terms of creating content and building an audience. And the first one, in no particular order, is make sure that you have a quiet area already set up and ready to go. Now, for me, I'm a video man, okay? So I actually have a few areas. I'll go outside, I'll go in the back, I will go right here. I'm actually in my house, right, in the living room area. But these are kind of areas that I have. I have one up in the bonus room. We call that the cat condo because somehow our cat has worked out an agreement where she has a 1-bedroom apartment completely free of charge and we clean her litter box. I don't know. So I go up to the cat condo every once in a while. But I have these areas in my house that allows me to be able to quickly and easily set up my video machine. If you want to do audio, that's fine. But make sure that you have a quiet area that people, obviously people in the house, if you have kids and stuff like that, know, hey, listen, mommy and daddy or whatever are doing some filming now, you need to go off and this is kind of my quiet area. But by having that set up initially without having to create it all yourself from scratch every time, knowing in your head, that kind of makes it easier emotionally to be like, you know what, let me just go out and knock out something real quick, all right? That's the first thing. Number 2 is you absolutely have to have a process where you know where that content is going to be coming from. All right, so what do I mean by that? So for me, what I'll do is I have pads all over my house, okay? I've got a pad in the bedroom, I've got a pad in the car, I've got a pad in the kitchen. No, actually I do. I have a pad in the kitchen, living room, office, all right? So I have a process where I'm constantly capturing this content down. I'm writing it down. I personally use those little those little junior legal size pads for me to capture the content. Bing, bang, boom, okay? Keep it all right there. I also have a pad when I'm doing coaching. So sometimes I'll talk to somebody, I'll be like, oh, you know what? That's a really good point. Let me get that real quick. I'll write it down and I have it captured. One of the most frustrating things, I don't know if you guys remember the old VHS days, you would go into when they had movie rentals like Blockbuster. For me, I would go into there and before I went in, like I had all these great ideas of movies I wanted to watch. And the minute I went through that door, it was like diddle-doo, 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 diddle-doo. Suddenly I couldn't remember anything. I barely remembered my name. I had to look at my ID, right? But I realized that if I wrote a list down and then went to the store, I was in much better shape and I could just, rent something. And the same thing is true with content creation. Jot it down, have a process, and number 3, have a place that you can trust to keep it. I have this huge folder. I was actually going to bring it out now, but it's in my office. I have this huge folder of things, of all those little slips of paper and little notes. And when I'm ready to produce content, when I'm feeling good, I go in, boom, boom, bam, and I am ready to go. All right. Now, those are the things that I do when it comes to building an audience and creating content and making it easier for me to be able to do that. Now, if you want to talk a little bit more about this, that is not a problem. We absolutely can do some of that. All you have to do is you just go to practicebuilderblog.com/TALK. All right. We can do a quick 15-minute laser coaching session, talk a little bit about yourself, your business, what it is you're doing to kind of build an audience, and that is no problem. But in the meantime, my name is Brian Hilliard saying so long, take care, and thank you for your time.